Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Pule the Sage. Welcome to Abundant Mindset with Pule the Sage. Welcome today. My head is a bit cold. I just had a haircut. Maybe that's the case. Welcome everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to today's evening broadcast on Wednesdays of Reflection with Pule the Sage. Here on, we still on our topic of miseducation. We're actually finalizing it today. And thank you for joining me. Please tap in there, your name, say hi, so that I know I can see who's here, so that I know who is watching, so that I can greet you as we give a few seconds to our other members to join. Remember, our topic is miseducation. We are finalizing it today. For the members who are playing the replay, please, as you watch, type hashtag replay so that we know that you are also watching us. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you had a beautiful day. I hope you had a good day, a reflective day. Moving right along. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Today we're just going to address a few subheadings under miseducation because this is the foundation of our general growth as human beings, the education that we got. So just as a point of note, maybe before I go into the actual topics, let me deal with the advertisements first before I go far. Remember, guys, we've got the Shimo Workshop coming on the 29th of August, and the price is 350. We've said enough about it. All right, this is a lifetime investment, which is very important. We also have our magazine Awakening. It's already out. A link has been posted on the group. Please go, and a tutorial video has been provided to help you navigate on how you can purchase this. Welcome, everybody. And yes, we spoke about miseducation as being an enemy towards your talent. So now the question is, how do you identify miseducation so that you can deal with it? Because all these discussions that we're having, it's about being able to identify and being aware when these enemies come along. So if you can take your pen and paper and journal, I trust that you now have your journal for the group. The heading is how to identify miseducation. How to identify miseducation. Like I traditionally do, I'm going to go through the titles quickly first, and then I'll deal with them separately. Number one, look and be aware of your current state of affairs. Look and be aware of your current state of affairs. Number one. And number two, ask yourself, is this education relevant for my vision or goals? That's number two. Number three, unilateral, unwidened, the oogklaps mindset. Are you developing a closed mindset as a result of this education that you are learning? Number four, lack of inspiration to learn. It's one of the ways to identify miseducation. Lack of vision. Number six, where you generally choose to be right over relevant. Where you choose, look at your action, do an audit of your own actions and check yourself. Am I obsessed with being right over being relevant? That's the one. And then number six, all right, no, those are the ones. Those are the subheadings of. The first one is look and be aware of your current state of affairs. Evaluate yourself. Okay, yes, you have obtained all this knowledge, all this education. Check yourself, look at yourself. How is this education making me a better person? How is this education making me a better person? Am I advanced from what I was before I learned this, or not? Check yourself. Number two, ask yourself, is this education relevant for my vision? Because remember, education should be driven by your vision. Your education should be driven by your vision, because now that is a directed, predestined education. It's very important. It's very important. Unilateral mind. Are you the fact that you've been taught this particular learning? Do you take it that this is the only thing that is right, and there's no other thing that I can entertain outside this? What is your view? What is your what you call? Are you open to learning, or are you open to expanding beyond the knowledge and the wisdom and the education that you got? Number five, lack of vision. Lack of vision. No, lack of inspiration to learn. Sorry, that's number four. Lack of inspiration to learn. People who feel that they've been educated do not think that they need to expand, because remember, miseducation is not driven by a destination. It's driven by, okay, those elements that I discussed. Issue your position. I'm in this position, and this is the definition of me. You know, check that. Are you inspired to learn? Are you inspired to expand? And then number five, lack of vision. Lack of vision. Lack of vision. Is your vision? Are you clear on your vision? Are you focused on your vision as you learn to become? Because that's basically what you're getting into. And number six as well. An example of this would be in a situation where you are forced to drive. Let's say maybe there's an emergency. Somebody in the car is in it, and then you're forced to drive beyond the speed limits. You are becoming relevant. Yes, obviously you take the precautions and so on, but you are becoming relevant. You don't say no because this is a 60 zone. No, I drive 60. You are able to think even with the education and the knowledge that you have. Thank you for that. All right, and then I feel like I'm rushing through this because basically this is also part of a revision of what we did on Friday, but just to give it closure. All right, how to escape miseducation. How to escape miseducation. Number one, detach from the education. Remember, the education that you get is not a definition of you. Some scientists in the past who knew or who thought the world was flat, that the earth was flat. They wrote theses, they wrote doctrines, they wrote things about the world being flat. And then they discovered a new education came, a new discovery, a new enlightenment came, and then they discovered that the earth was round. So because some of these scientists were so obsessed with the idea that of the old education that they felt offended when the other new scientists brought this new knowledge, although it was true, although it was proven. They decided to no. That is part of our discovery. We were given praise because of the discovery. We were given medals. We were given, red hats with red gowns because of that discovery. We cannot let it go. We cannot let it go. So do not be attached to your education. Do not be attached to your education. And then secondly, how to escape miseducation. If the education is not helping you to improve you or your surroundings, you must be able to reflect and say, okay, this education, is leading me towards depression. This education is leading me towards a place where I'm learning to make guns. I'm learning to I'm learning to develop things that are destructive. You must be able to reflect and say, you know what, this is not good for me. I liked what Dave Chappelle did. Dave Chappelle is one of the comedians, one of the famous comedians around, wherein he was offered $50 million to proceed with a skit, like a show, wherein they had actually asked him to act as a girl. What has happened in Hollywood, according to Dave Chappelle, is that they've always had the desire, or rather the plan to reflect black men as acting as women. A lot of our great actors have actually fallen for that, where they would dress up and become, just to create an image about black actors. So Dave Chappelle came into this show, and then they actually proposed it to him that, no, man, we want you to act up in a dress. And then he said, no, man, I don't need a dress to be funny. He fortunately he's an aware person. He could relate to, okay, no, but I've been doing this for so long, but I can reflect and say, no, but here, no, I can take a different direction. That's why he was able to let go of that 50 million rands deal, and then take a sabbatical, go to Africa and so on, to reflect on himself. And now he came back, he's stronger than ever, and that's the Dave Chappelle that we now respect, because he was not attached to the old education that he was. He decided that I am aligning myself with the vision of my life. This is what I stand for, and then the education that I get, I apply it correctly, even with the circumstances that I face. Yes, and then finally, ask yourself the question: how the importance of education finally is, it's about how do I become relevant? How do I become relevant? At the end of the day, it's about relevance. It starts small. You ask yourself at home, what can I do? Is the garden made? Become relevant. Relevance drives progress. So let it be your guiding light. These are the factors that I wanted to touch on briefly on our Wednesday of reflection today. And the on Monday, guys, we're going to touch on the new topic of self-love and self value and self-love. Those two layers are very, very critical. I'm going to go further into them and help us to identify them as enemies of our talents. Thank you for joining me today. I will not be long. Thank you so much for taking the time. I will go through the comments before I let you go. Thank you, Tamsi. Hi, Sage. How is this education making me a better person? Yes, it's very important. That's key to identifying education as your, as being relevant or not. The Son of God. Yes, Coach Moses. Thank you so much. Tangana Krila. How do you unlearn miseducation, leader? How do you unlearn? Yes, how you unlearn miseducation is you become aware. Awareness. One of the great teachers that I listen to, there is a difference between the mind and awareness. Think of the mind as like the universe. Think of the mind as the universe, full of experiences, full of possibilities, and so on. But if and then your awareness, think of your awareness as light that shines on the universe. And then where you put your awareness is where your emotions connect. Like, for instance, now if I tell you, think of a time. If I can, let's do an exercise. Close your eyes. Okay. Think of a time that you went to. Okay, think of a time when it was your birthday. Think of a time when it was your birthday. They bought you cake at home, and then you had your friends over that were visiting. What I've just done with that experiment, keep your eyes closed. What I've just done, I've just taken your awareness, and then I I went into a portion of your life, a memory of your life, and it shined on a birthday that you had experienced, and then you were able to identify with a certain emotion of the day. And like again, as you're closing your eyes, I can say, think of a time where you went to a funeral of somebody that you really loved. Think of that time and you went to that funeral. Okay, yeah. So what has happened now is that I've taken your awareness and then I've shifted it to a different experience of your life, which connected to a certain emotion of your life. Ne? So your awareness brings about a certain emotion, and the word emotion means energy in motion. You understand? So you need to be aware of how the results of certain education, the impact of certain education on your life. Be aware. What is it? What emotions are being risen from within you? What experiences have you experienced as a result of this miseducation or education? Because the truth of the matter is, when you bring awareness to a situation, you are able to analyze it and then determine the impact of it from there and say, okay, you know what? Okay, let me try to get a simpler example. Okay, I learned about frogs in biology. I learned about frogs in biology. Okay, no, I mean, really, what am I using frogs for? Okay, yes, they were planting the seed of liking biology at the time. Yes, maybe for children, it's not a bad idea to expose them to various kind of things so that we don't limit their thinking. But as you grow up, the things that you learn, the conversations that you pick up from your father, from your mother, that your dad or your uncle said, yeah, man, a man, monna di celebe, what adimisa? Like your uncle used to speak things like that. A man comes home anytime he wants. That's education, by the way. And education does not need to be in a university or wall or university room to be education. Education comes to us in different forms and sizes, you know. So you ask yourself, well, okay, that message, that thing that I believe so much, you know, that I believe so much in my heart, that my uncle said, you know, yeah, Amar, no, you know, because you connected it to a certain emotion that made you feel important as a man, and then you're now evaluating your life to say, okay, but then how is this education, this miseducation, how is it now shaping my life towards the destiny that I want for myself? If you want to be an ex, if you want to be celepe, if that's your destination, then that miseducation is relevant for you, it's relevant for your destiny, as destructive as it might be. You know, it's relevant for you, so hold on to it. But if it's not serving you, if it's causing a problem within the union with your wife, or a problem within your work, or a problem you know, in your engagements with your business partners, you have to revisit yourself, become aware of the impact of that education. Yeah, you know, I hope Mr. Tangana Krila, I hope I tried to deal with that. You can ask further if there is a need for more clarity. Yes, yes. Thank you for that question, Mr. Tangana. Moses, your education does not identify you. Yes, because now, the moment you allow yourself to be identified by an education, you are defining yourself from an external point of view. And if anything external defines you, it means you want to protect that external thing because you think it's you. Similar to how religious people are. I mean, in order to be religious, you have to believe, because a lot of things in religion have to do with believing things that you have not seen, sometimes things that you have not proved for your own individual, you just believe. So now what happens is, once you attach yourself to that kind of education without allowing you the opportunity to assess it as far as it attains, I mean, it attaches to your destiny, then you grow a problem of trying to protect a belief system that is maybe even destroying you. But because you know you have associated so much with this belief system, you cannot detach and look and see, oh, okay, you know what, I'm living this life. Okay, how how is this impacting on where I'm going? How is this religion that I've decided to take for my life? How is it growing me as a person? How is this education, this degree, helping me towards being a philanthropist or becoming this and that? You need to detach and then inquire. Check the impact of that education for your own personal development and growth. It's very, very important. That's why you get people who are martyrs, or people who are they would kill for religion. They would because the truth of the matter is, when you are educated for the sake of your own progress. You don't see the need to convince other people. You want to make sure everyone, yeah, follow me. No, you're so sure in what you believe, because it's so relevant to where you're going. That you are not phased by even people who attack your idea, or rather your education, because you know where it's taking you. You've got a personal understanding, and you are not obsessed with this education as a definition of you. You're just using it as a tool to get you somewhere. So in a nutshell, and that day, Moses, you use education as a tool to get you somewhere. You don't define yourself as an with the education. Thank you. Aligning with myself, Coach Tamsi, with the vision that I want. Correct. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Mpo, you're welcome. Patricia, you're welcome. Tamsi, true education is also conditioning from the influence of our environment. True education is also conditioning. Yes, yes. The environment that you also create is very important, because when you are in an environment that is conducive for progress, you thrive. If it means for picking up your table, one of the ways successful multimillionaires do, even the associate billionaires that I've visited, their tables are generally clear. Like they think less thoughts that are irrelevant to where they are going. That's one of the things. They say success leaves clues. So that's one of the clues that I saw from these these people awareness is key. Coach Tamsi, how is this belief benefiting me? Coach Mpo, how is this belief benefiting me? Learning to ask. Correct. You need to reflect. Ask yourself those questions. Reflecting, going within without fear. Yes, thank you guys for our session today. Remember our workshop, remember our magazine is also available, and the replayers, please hashtag replay, so that we know that you have watched and you are blessed, and I wish you all the best. I hope that those who joined us later, you had a good day today, a successful day, wherein you thought about the education that you have since picked up along the way, and try to reflect and put things across relevantly in your life. So I wish you all the best for this week. Till we meet again on Monday next week, when we're discussing the most fundamental issue, which is self-love and self-value. I'll come up with a lot of examples of those ones, because those are less academic, because now you need to get examples generally of how you do not have self-love, how you do not value yourself, so that you can identify these enemies against our talents. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time till we meet again. Thank you. Bye.